themselves the Janssen Envoys. And I'm sure some of you remember them. Some of you remember the names, I'm sure. There's Buzz Flaska and Dr. Bowen and Dr. Graves, and some of them moved on, some of them Alice Stone to the member, and it really didn't make any difference. But anyway, we were a arm of the Chamber of Commerce, and part of our job was to go around to area parades and promote the city of McCook, which we did. And we did a lot of parades. We did the Nebraska Land Days, we did the Danbury Back to School Parade, and we did, I think we even went to Denver to the St. Patrick's Day Parade a few times, and we had a lot of fun, and hopefully we did the city of McCook good. But anyway, we decided if we want to have enter in one of these parades, we ought to have a permanent vehicle that we could use. So somebody came up with the idea, let's buy an antique fire truck. So I was appointed a committee of one to find an antique fire truck. I made a bunch of phone calls. I found out that the city of Kansas City, Missouri was about to abandon a 1934 LaFrance fire truck, and we could have it at a reasonable price. So we pooled our money together. We went to Kansas. We made arrangements to buy this thing, and it was my job. My brother was in the trucking business at that time, and so we hired his truck driver and myself. We went to Kansas City, Missouri, and we found the fire station on a Sunday morning, and it was a not very good part of town. And picked up the fire truck, and now we have to find a loading dock. We have to load this thing on this semi-trailer truck. And again, this area of town was not very good. But a lot of people were all dressed up, and it was spring, a beautiful spring morning, and a few of them were going out to church. And one of those people I was worried about, those people that weren't going to church, are those ones I was worried about. But we did find a loading dock finally, and we got this thing back to McCook, and I showed it to my fellow Envoy members, and they were quite pleased with our new purchase. But now we did our first parade. We rode on the fire truck, and it was kind of boring, so we decided, well, if you're going to have a fire truck, you really should have a fire, right? So how are we going to do this thing? So well, somebody said, well, let's get us an old outhouse, and we'll put us on a flatbed trailer, and we will create a little smoke in this outhouse, and the fire truck will be back there about a half a block or so. And Fuzz Flask and I had the job. We were dressed up in the boxer shorts, I guess they were boxer shorts, and we had a floppy hat, a hillbilly hat, and bib overalls. And it was our job to get in there and just create this little smoke. And we'd come out with our bib overalls down to our knees, and we'd holler, fire, 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 and pretty quick the fire truck would blow the siren, and blow out and put the fire out. And we got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks, and we were getting along real well. We did several parades, and we were having a good time, and it was about time to do the North Platte, Nebraska Land Parade. It was the biggest parade we'd done at that time. So one of the members mentioned now we do have a little problem. We're out of this material we used to start this fire. We were using black powder, gunpowder, and we were getting along fine. And one of the members mentioned that we were out of this black powder, and that's no problem. I know a sporting goods store in North Platte. We'll just stop before the parade and buy some more black powder, no problem. So we stopped the sporting goods store and bought the black powder, lined up the parade, and Fuzz and I were about to do our first little skit there, and you know, it just makes sense if a little gunpowder makes a little smoke, a lot of gunpowder makes a lot of smoke, right? Okay. We put the coffee can down the hole, this is a true story, put the coffee can down this hole and put it almost full of black powder, and lit this thing afire, and boom! Now, unbeknownst known to me, there are two kinds of black powder. There was maybe more than that. I'm not a gun expert, but there's this low-grade powder, which we were obviously using the first few times, and then there was the way more explosive stuff, which we got a hold of the second time. Blew the door off the outhouse. Fuzz Flask and I came out with our bib overalls down to, and we've got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. The problem is I had, between the blood and the gunpowder, I wasn't very pretty. And if you look real close, and I still have the evidence, and I still have a little black powder in my elbow and my arms. And when I go to the optometrist, he still asks me about this gunpowder in my eyelids. But that's all right. And that whole job, it didn't cost very much. I had to go to a plastic surgeon. He said, "Well, just take it off there." And how do you do that? Well, we just take a rotary grinder, we grind it off. It wasn't very much fun, but what the heck, it was fun while it lasted. So, and after we had this all put together, we found out, well, for $2 we could have put down a Chief Lions Bar was chief of fire chief at that time. For $2 we could have bought some smoke bombs, and we would have been a whole lot less trouble than we had with our block powder. But anyway, if you see some of the old envoys, will remind you of that story. Most of them were there that day, and again, it was a lot of fun while it lasted, but I don't think we'll do it again.